Now back to this mace. Hmm.
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 Maybe something.
Whenever I think that this idea works better for a flail. Weapon, flail, 1H, range 1, rarity uncommon, affixes, always deals 9 damage when it deals damage. It's gonna have nine tails on it.
It's literally a nine tail.
Yeah, it's like a cat of nine tails.
So maybe it's not just a flail. It's a whip.
But it looks more like this.
I know what you're thinking of. They have the little flail heads,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
this thing.
those are usually like 3.
No. Specifically this thing. It's got 9.
No.
I'm trying to find more images that. This one, I think, is probably the best.
That's a whip.
It's not really a whip, though. That one is a whip. The one that's in the Wikipedia image.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It'll show up in a second.
Oh, the drawing.
Yeah, you see it?
That's still like a whip.
It's kind of like a whip, but
It's
if
like
it
a
were at the
slave
end,
driving whip.
see, I really don't like that connotation behind it, which is the reason that I almost don't want to do it.
I wouldn't do it if you got to make it have little mace heads.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Is we wouldn't just do it with rope. We do it with like little chains and balls attached.
Okay.
Yeah, but that image is closest to what I wanted, and the reason why I think it should be like a one-handed flail. I just don't know what to call it because I don't want to call it cat of nine tails. Hmm. All right, we'll just call it the cat of nine. So that'll scale down as time goes on.
Right.
It's pretty good in the like early to mid game because it's always going to do 9 when you deal damage. You can give it to a character who is able to deal damage but isn't able to do very much, and it'll increase their damage quite a bit. Also, for multi-hit attackers, that's really good. If I'm attacking multiple times, I'd be dealing like 5 damage each time. Now I'm dealing 9. I think that should probably be rare. At least. We'll see. I'm trying to balance it. Alright, so flails. Maces. Man, CV24's idea was so good. That's really cool. I can't get it out of my head. It's just a really cool idea. If you're still in chat, that's a good one. You should run with that. Sometimes when you get stuck and you can't think of weapons, it's a good idea to just go and look on Google Images and see what kind of ideas people are coming up with. You might get yourself unstuck in a very interesting way. I don't think that it has to necessarily be derivative either. Oh, you're welcome, CV. Or C2. Right.
What?
Um, so a long time ago, while I was working on the Lost Strider, I came across this word. And the word is crosier,
Right.
or crossier, and it's a shepherd's hook. Basically,
Mhm.
I really wanted to get across this image of the Lost Strider being a shepherd to these people in the village, and it just because we have that agrarian sub theme, I thought it would fit. It just didn't. I couldn't fit the word in anywhere. But I kind of promised to myself I'll come back to this, and then I forgot about it until I saw that mace there, and now I'm thinking that a crosier is probably something that we actually want as a mace quite a bit. Like the art for this one is absolutely beautiful.
Hmm.
I am blown away.
So maybe you could put it in the category of mace, but it's more of like a stave.
Yeah, we don't have any. Well, yeah, I guess we could put it in, subtype mace, staff, handedness 1H. I guess it could be 2. Yeah, probably is 2. Affixes. Crossier. Whenever you would deal damage, comma, deal an additional direct damage for each summon you control. Does that work for you?
Hmm. Yes.
Cool. Alright, so we've got 4 knives, 2 swords, 2 great swords, 1 axe. Axes. Time to go look those up. Battle axe. Looking for something one-handed. These are really cool. Dwemer battle axe. The weapon design for the Elder Scrolls games is always very interesting. I know that not all of them are like.
Well, were you looking at that Dwemer Great Axe thing?
Yeah, correct.
That's a mod.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen people go in and do like more realistic weapons, more interesting ones, and those are all really cool too. I've always really liked the glass weapons from
Oh, really?
the Scroll series. Not necessarily because they're like realistic or anything like that, but just because of how pretty they are. Like the glass battle axe here from Skyrim.
Right. Yeah. Some of the stuff is neat. Other stuff I think looks terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. I'm kind of trying to figure out how we can make an axe divergent. How it can be. For whatever reason, when I think of axes, my head sort of draws a blank.
Maybe we. Uh, it's just for regular axes, right?
Right. Yeah.
Since we already have a javelin, why don't we do like a hatchet?
hatchet. We could.
Like a throwing hatchet or something.
The only reason I wouldn't want to do that is just because that is really like what Fire Emblem does.
I mean, that is just one weapon.
It's true. No, no. I mean, like the in Fire Emblem, there's the. You've played Fire Emblem, right?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's still just one weapon instead of a whole set of throwing axes.
Yeah.
And if we've got something like the javelin, then I don't know.
Hatchet. Weapon. Axe. 1H. Range 1. Rarity uncommon. You may attack as though this weapon has range 2, but must you may attack as though this weapon has range 2, any time that you do. Anytime that you attack in this way, discard this weapon until the end of unequip this weapon. Battle. So you get a single use of 2 range out of it. You can throw it, basically. You would have to spend a turn re-equipping another weapon, though, unless you wanted to fight disarmed.
Right.
Slashing. Okay. That's a good one. I kind of like the idea of an axe that cuts down trees, but is also like, since axes are primarily used as tools for lumbering,
Right.
I think it'd be interesting to have an axe that's like naturally occurring or is grown out from something, or is in a state of growth currently.
Um. So is it just like a wooden axe?
It's like, yeah, it's got a wooden handle, but like little kind of twigs and branches are growing around its blade.
Okay, so it does have a metal blade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, or maybe it is just a wooden blade. I don't know. That's interesting to think about.
Because think of how hard trees can be.
Yeah.
And
No,
if it's a living weapon that's still growing like a tree is, it's gonna be pretty solid. And I mean, even if it did get like chipped or something, wouldn't it just grow back over time?
there's a really good episode on this. I think Scalagram does it, but he shows like axes that have been made of wood,
Right.
and they are wicked sharp, ridiculously, quite intimidating. So maybe that is the way we want to go with it. Doing a wooden blade, wooden bladed axe.
Or maybe the blade is made of like amber sap.
That could be interesting too. Sap. Sap. Yeah. Okay, so let's think about what it would do. Okay, so it has good stats, and whenever you would deal damage to an enemy with this weapon, comma, that enemy gains HP regen 1, and you receive HP equal to the amount that they are healed whenever they would receive healing. So the way it works is you hit them, and whenever you hit them, they gain HP regen 1, which is bad for you. But anytime that they're healed, whether it's through the HP regen that they're getting or through something else, you gain that HP back too. So their healers don't want to heal them because you're gaining the same amount.
Does the regen 1 stack the more you attack them?
Yes.
So it's not really something you can actually do damage with.
This axe,
Right.
it would have better stats than normal.
Oh, and not instead, it also gains.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
I was misinterpreting.
Yeah. What do you think?
I like that.
Okay, cool.
I like how you had the name for it right off the top of your head, too.
Yeah, I didn't. I was just thinking through, and I was like, okay, that's probably a cool name. I couldn't think of anything better at the moment, but I don't. I don't know. I appreciate the compliment. So that puts us at 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, and then every 2, 3, 3, 3. So I think we have 4 2s that we need to get to 3s. Oh, that's a 4. Knives has 4. So, I thought the swords would be the easiest because we just have swords everywhere.
Right.
But I guess the numbers are indicating that we have less ideas for swords in general. Okay, so let's think. Think on it. Could be a sword or a great sword. It doesn't particularly matter.
I was thinking. No, never mind. Yeah.
No, go ahead. I mean, if you have an idea.
No, it was too similar to the hilt.
Okay. Cody had an idea for a sword with like a ring in the blade, which would reduce the structural integrity of it, but maybe if it was a part of the hilt. Basically, I forget when he. Let me see if we can go find his website real fast.
Like a hole.
Yeah. I think we can go find his art website. Here we go. Drawer. Does he have a link to his website? I know I used to have this thing. Tweet 16. Man, if only Cody were here. Alright, look what I published. Here we go. This might be it. Work. Cool. Personal work. Oh, there. Personal work. What caused you to put it on this site, Cody? Used to be. Oh, here we go. I think we might find it here soon. Perhaps we won't. Man. Alright, well, anyway. Sword has like a ring at the hilt section that would allow you to catch someone else's sword and then stab in, kind of disarm them if you wanted. Which I thought was a pretty cool idea. Maybe it doesn't have to be a ring, but it could just be a division in the blade itself. Or perhaps the blade.
So it's. I was thinking maybe it's split right down the middle.
Yeah,
Like
because
it's got-
I've seen that design before. I think that looks cool. I'm gonna do it in MS Paint here because even though I dislike MS Paint, it gives us a better idea.
Oh, but you're the best in MSP.
Oh, thank you, Logan. You're a shining star in my heart.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby. Please. Is this gonna look like a keyblade? It's gonna look like a keyblade. Oh, lordy. There's no stopping it now. Definitely looks like a
Too
keyblade.
late.
What curvy, they say. There's nothing wrong with the keyblade. Keyblades are cool.
A viewer, I say, there's everything wrong with the Keyblade.
Yeah.
It should be called the Key Cudgel.
Yeah, I suppose it should be.
What part of that is bladed? None of it. But it's shaped just like a sword, but that doesn't make it a blade, now does it?
So you got your blade there and your blade there. You got your hoop.
Oh, I know exactly what you. Yeah, I've drawn something like that before.
Have you?
Yeah, I think everyone has. Maybe if they were drawing weapons when they were a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like, you know what it really looks like is the blade sword from Halo.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It looks a lot like it.
It's like half shotel, half regular sword.
Yeah. So maybe what we do instead of doing the design from Halo is Kingdom Hearts 3. Yes, Andrew. Kingdom Hearts 3.
You figured it out. This is the actual game we're working on. There's few differences between this and the other Kingdom Hearts games.
Mm-hmm. So we have this handle. And then we've got this bit. It goes out like that. And then...
Don't draw it with, like, the line tool. Just use a brush.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's not straight. We'll get the idea.
Alright, so you got your handle. Oh, look, it's a pistol handle. And then you got...
Quit drawing a gun blade.
And then you got this circle here. Oh, look, it's a gun blade. And then you've got this into that. This meaty blade attached. Perhaps this would kind of go up more.
I actually like the design of that a lot.
Thanks. And then this would be a lot less meaty. Eh. I think what would have to happen is, in order for this to actually be a weapon that would be used, you'd have to. I'm going to use this line tool because I just want a straight line. Damn it. I think what would have to happen is you have a handle that comes down like that, and along the lines of like the most ridiculous slash preposterous weapon designs. I think this is pretty up there. You know what? I'll just do it with the brush. I think now you can kind of see what I'm getting at. You got sort of this ring thing going. What you drawing? Well, Cody, I was drawing. You had that idea for the ring blade a while ago, and I thought that that was pretty cool. So I decided to play around with that. Oh, no.
Gotcha.
To play around with that a bit, and
A gunblade.
yeah, a gunblade, exactly. And I came to the realization that it might look something a bit more like this, because the ring would weaken the structural integrity too much. Unless you had it kind of like a carabiner.
You can't just say that.
Once it spin around the wrist. Where, like, if they attacked in and there's a blade here, that it would let their blade through and then get stuck. Like that. Yeah, now it's stuck. But I don't see the use in having something like that. The ones that spin around the wrist. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was the point of it. That was why we had it that way, is because you could spin it around the wrist. But the issue is that the blade was too long, so even if you did spin it around the wrist, like, it wouldn't. So I was trying to figure out how we'd make it so that kind of worked. I also couldn't find your old website, which was disappointing. Made me sad. But if you can go find an image of the sword wherever you have it stored, I would love to show that to the stream.
Sword stored.
Horde and Lord. Yeah.
Yeah. I am Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, he linked it.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
jcodylambert.com. You know, you would think that I would have searched just for that.
No.
Lambert.com. Here we go.
And he pulled up the specific image too.
There we are. This thing. Right? So my issue is that, oh, right. So you've got both the gauntlets. It's got enough room so that you can spin it. But even still, I think what you'd have to do is make it so that that bottom hilt part is another blade. Oh, C2V4 is sharing a link as well.
Neat. I'll check that out.
Okay.
Oh, he actually found it on Tumblr.
Oh, okay. Good find. Yeah, I think it would have to have a blade going the other direction as well. Then
that would be the way to do our twin blade then.
It would be, because then you could hold the ring and then, but still it doesn't quite give you the reach.
It does. It does. Think about it.
Okay, so all right, so
you're tripling the length of the handle.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you do.
And if you can picture it, holding it up. Literally the picture of the guy. If he's holding both ends of that, and there's a blade on each end, he's got enough room to swing that top blade without hitting himself.
True.
Since the handle's so long, the blade is further off put from his body.
Right. All right. So Cody, what we need you to do is, he's gonna have to watch that Scalagrim video first. But eventually, you're gonna have to do the concept for this weapon. It'll have a blade on both sides, and it'll have the thing that you want from it too, the spinny whoosh whoosh.
Technically, this is concept for this weapon.
True. True. Weapon. Subtype. Sword. Handedness. 2H. Range. 2. Rarity. Rare plus 1. Affixes. I want to just call it ring blade. What do you call, alright, when you're looking at a fan or a helicopter blade and it gets to the point so that you can see the individual blades even though you know it's spinning, what is that called? One half-hand sword. Alright, camera shutter speed. Synchronized. Rolling shutter. Alright, so we call it shutter blade. Oh. Shutter. I don't want to call it blade though. Shutter blade doesn't quite work. Shutter spike. I like that better. Damage type. Piercing. Slashing. Guess it should be slashing, piercing. One H or 2H. Stroboscope. We can't call the sword that, Cody. I wish we could. But I think you're right that that is probably the word. H. So when you're holding it one-handed, that's when you're... No, I think it has to be 2H either way. Whenever you 1 to 2 attack.
I found the gif of it.
Is the helicopter gift
Yeah.
at 2 or range, comma. You may only attack with it at 1 range until the end, till the beginning. No. You may only attack with it at 1 range. Whenever you attack with this weapon at 2 or more range, you must attack with it at 1 range. Whenever you next make an attack. While attacking enemy. This weapon is in single attacks or abilities which would deal direct damage to you are deflected to an ally on your row. To target ally on your row. Okay. So basically, you attack at 2 range, and then you start spinning it. And then things that would come in and do direct damage, you like deflect off of the blades into one of your allies.
So you Jedi it.
Yeah. More or less. Well, you're spinning them. You're spinning, spin, 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 spin. Wham! Deflection. Alright, so now after we finished Zorax, got a Zorax half blade. Look at that. Now it looks a little bit less like copyright infringement to me. And it's like this claymore with just half of its blade. Splits people in half. I like this. Maybe it's split vertically in half. So it's got this hilt. The hilt's all cool and stuff. And then, there's the giant crossbar on it, like the Buster Sword has. And then after that crossbar, there's supposed to be this Buster Blade there, which reaches up and is ridiculous. But instead of that being there, there's just this part. Or half of it. Maybe it reaches out a bit further than that. So that would look ridiculous.
What?
We could stylize it a bit more, I guess. So it looks a little less ridiculous.
I wish you were our lead art guy.
Do you?
Yeah. Alright, Cody, you're fired. Kirby's gonna take over.
I'll do animations too.
Yeah, okay, so we'll kick Frankie
The
too.
game's gonna be done in MS Paint.
Yeah, coding in MS Paint.
We code in MS Paint, yeah. Oh, God.
I thought you were trying a giant tuning fork. Kind of looks like a lightning bolt.
Well, it is.
Oh, it is?
Harry Potter's sword.
It's this, yeah. Can't wait for that movie. Oh boy, Harry Potter and the Curse of the Giant Big Ass Sword.
Yeah, the curse of the. Why is this sword so large? I can't wield this. Wait, Professor Dumbledore, come back.
The Curse of the Too Big Sword.
Too big sword. Too big to handle.
Too big, 5 me.
God, these MS Paint drawings are just getting us all the viewers, I'm sure.
Top notch.
Top notch animations.
And animations.
All right, so we gotta figure out whatever this broadsword's gonna be. Maybe it's just a giant ore. I've wanted that for a long time. Is that more of a great axe, though?
No,
No.
you just put a crystal on a great axe, or not a great axe, a great sword hilt. It's just this big flat crystal.
It's, a
Maybe
big,
not crystal because that's literally too fragile, but you know what I mean.
it's like a geode.
Yeah, it's all shiny and pretty, and it's gonna fuck you up.
Alright. It's an unfinished geode. Range 1. We'll do rare. Sure, why not? Damage. Slashing. Crushing. Variant. Don't know.
And since it's a geode, maybe it can have like an actual element in it.
Okay.
This is really the only chance I can see to have a lightning weapon is with something like this.
The weapon breaks and no longer deals slashing or crushing damage. Crushing damage. Instead, deals fire, lightning, or ice damage, depending on which you choose. Sound good to you?
That'd be pretty cool, yeah.
Alright. This effect persists until the end of battle. I don't know what to call this one. Element Thesaurus.
Element Thesaurus. I like that. There's no sarcasm in what I just said.
If it weren't, if I could stomach calling a weapon Thesaurus, I might. Maybe there is room for that somewhere in the Ritsmith's kit. One of his special items could be called Thesaurus. Ooh, maybe that's one of the conduits. Conduit. Oh, whoops. Thesaurus. Rename. Conduits. These are supposed to be like animationless, basically just particle effects to make it as easy as possible. You just have the hand, and the hand is glowing, basically.
Yeah.
Swords, great swords. Don't know what to call it though. Element. Fire. Fire. Why don't I go look at this at Wikipedia instead? I feel like Wikipedia is more likely to be helpful here. Elements, trilogy, music, business, chemistry and science, law, philosophy. 5 elements, Japanese philosophy. Earth, water, fire, wind, and void.
Wood.
Sky.
I always liked that they had wood as an element.
Crooks. There should really be a place to make notes about how the weapon looks. But if we've got the Twitch streams, I'm sure we'll be fine.